Welcome to Mr. Moros, your go-to channel for spine-chilling tales, mysterious legends, and true crime stories that will leave you questioning reality. If you love exploring the dark, the unexplained, and the terrifying, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you never miss an update. If you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends who love a good scare. Now, let's dive into today's story. Have you ever heard of a crime so brutal, so heart-wrenching, that it leaves an entire community shattered? A crime that even after decades, still echoes in the dark corners of history? The Walker family, Christine, Cliff, and their two young children, lived in a quaint ranch-style home in Osprey, Florida. They were the embodiment of the American dream, hard-working, close-knit, and loving. But one fateful evening in December 1959, that dream was violently torn apart. What happened inside the Walker household remains one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries in American history. On December 19, 1959, the tranquility of the Walker household was shattered. When Cliff Walker returned home from running errands, he stumbled upon a scene of unimaginable horror. His wife, Christine, had been brutally murdered, and their two young children, Jimmy and Debbie, lay lifeless nearby. The brutal nature of the crime sent shockwaves through the small community of Osprey. The Walker family, who had lived a quiet, uneventful life, were now the victims of a heinous act of violence that defied explanation. But who would commit such a monstrous act and why? As investigators combed through the crime scene, they were left with more questions than answers. There were no signs of forced entry, suggesting that the killer might have been someone the family knew. Yet, as the investigation unfolded, the leads grew colder, and the trail to the killer or killers went dark. The Walker family murders occurred just weeks after another high-profile case that gripped the nation, the infamous Clutter family murders in Holcomb, Kansas, which were later immortalized in Truman Capote's In Cold Blood. The similarities between the two cases were eerie. Both involved the brutal slaying of an entire family in their own home, with no clear motive or suspect. Naturally, investigators began to wonder if there was a connection between the two cases. Could the same killers have struck again in Florida? Despite these chilling parallels, the investigation into the Walker family murders hit a series of dead ends. Over the years, numerous suspects were questioned, but none were definitively linked to the crime. The case became a haunting enigma, with theories ranging from a random act of violence to a more sinister, calculated plot. One of the most compelling theories involved two men, Perry Smith and Richard Hickok, the very same individuals convicted of the Clutter family murders. After their arrest and subsequent conviction, Smith and Hickok were rumored to have been in Florida around the time of the Walker family murders. This theory gained traction when it was revealed that Hickok had allegedly expressed a desire to commit another robbery after the Clutter killings. But while this connection seemed promising, there was no concrete evidence to tie Smith and Hickok to the Walker case. The physical evidence was circumstantial at best, and the pair denied any involvement. As time passed, the case grew colder, and the hope of finding justice for the Walker family began to fade. In the decades that followed, the Walker family murders became a haunting cold case, one that continued to baffle investigators and true crime enthusiasts alike. The case files, filled with witness statements, forensic reports, and countless dead-end leads, gathered dust in the archives. Yet the memory of the Walker family and the tragic events of that December evening remained etched in the minds of those who sought answers. But the story doesn't end there. In recent years, advancements in forensic science, particularly in DNA analysis, have breathed new life into this decades-old mystery. Cold case investigators revisited the evidence, hoping that modern technology might succeed where traditional methods had failed. In 2013, investigators announced a significant development. DNA evidence had been recovered from the crime scene, evidence that had the potential to identify the killer. The DNA was compared to known samples from Perry Smith and Richard Hickok, the two men long suspected of being involved in the Walker family murders. This breakthrough offered a glimmer of hope, a chance to finally solve the mystery that had haunted Osprey for over half a century. However, the results of the DNA analysis were inconclusive. While the DNA did not match Smith or Hickok, it also did not completely rule them out. leaving the door open to further speculation and investigation. The case remains unsolved, but the renewed interest and the application of modern forensic techniques suggest that the truth may yet come to light. As we reflect on the tragic events that unfolded within the Walker household, we're reminded of the fragile nature of life and the darkness that can sometimes invade even the most peaceful of places. The Walker family, once a symbol of the American dream, became victims of a nightmare that still lingers in the shadows of history. The murders of Christine, Cliff, Jimmy, and Debbie Walker stand as a stark reminder of the evil that can lurk beneath the surface of everyday life. Their story is one of love, loss, and the relentless pursuit of justice. It's a story that, despite the passage of time, continues to captivate and disturb those who seek to understand what really happened on that fateful December day. In the end, the Walker family murders remain an unsolved mystery, a case that has eluded closure for over 6 decades. But with each passing year, the hope of finding the truth persists. For the residents of Osprey, and for all who have followed this case, the memory of the Walker family endures, a reminder that some questions may never be fully answered, but the search for justice must never be abandoned. The darkness that claimed their lives may have remained hidden for decades, but with every new discovery, we edge closer to the light of understanding. The truth is out there, waiting to be uncovered. And while the answers remain elusive, the legacy of the Walker family lives on, a testament to the enduring human spirit and the quest for justice that never fades. Thank you for watching today's episode on Mr. Moros. If you enjoyed the story, please give the video a thumbs up and share it with someone who loves the thrill of a good mystery. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a spine-tingling tale. If you have any suggestions or stories you'd like to hear, leave a comment below. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep exploring the unknown. See you in the next video.